Yes, y'all. This is Big Snoop Dogg on Renata Remain TV, the only TV show that I pay attention to when I'm on this side of the world. You dig? And you better lock and load too. Don't change the dizzle.
You're now checking out Renata Romaine, cuz.
Sarah Candy Mornings. I'm Renata Romaine, Hip Hop Nation. One of my favorite people in hip hop is here, making his return to Air Candy Morning, Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, baby.
Good morning.
And you know I love it like I love it. How you doing, sweetie?
Now you just went into pimp mode on me. Just
I mean,
automatically.
it's chocolate is in the air. You know what I'm saying? I love chocolate women. I mean, I respect and praise my chocolate women, especially when they're powerful like you. So it's
thank
nothing
you.
but love. That's all.
I must say, it's been a minute since you've been here. When you were here last, I don't know if you remember that. This was like years ago, back in 08, 09.
Mm-hmm.
You have been like the best person ever to have on the show. And I've sat down with many people, many folks. Like, what is it? Like, people just love you.
It's the spirit that I give. I give a loving spirit based on how I was raised up by my mother. She taught me to love people and just to have fun and always express, happiness and not be frustrated, because it's enough of that in the world. So why not come and be happy and be overjoyed and give people a feeling of expressing a smile as opposed to frowning?
Yeah. Well, you do that well with this new album, Bush. We're going to get into that in a minute. But first, we just need to get caught up because a lot has changed since your last visit. You rocking some dreadlocks. I want to touch it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think your hair could lock up. It was so straight and fine.
Yeah.
Rocking dreadlocks. You changed your name. Did you change it back from Snoop Lion or Dog?
Yeah. I think Snoop Lion was a step into manhood as far as knowing how to tap into the side of making records of peace, love, and happiness. And I believe that gave me the expression of Rastafari to be able to tap into that lane and to do it with a meaning and do it with a purpose, and to not leave Snoop Dogg behind, but to keep him involved, but to be able to grow as an artist. And that enables me to do that kind of music and still be able to come back and do Snoop Dogg music at the same time.
Yeah, it was like a pilgrimage to Jamaica.
Yeah, it really was. I went out there to discover reggae music because it was always a part of my music, and I always had it into my music, but I never knew why. I never knew what it was about and what stemmed from it. And once I got out there, I fell in love with the spirit, and it fell in love with me. It's one thing about the spirit, you can't fake it. When it gets on you and it gets in you, there's nothing you can do to control it. If you're a real individual who accepts that, and I accept love, and that's a loving spirit.
Did you adopt the accent? Let me hear a little bit.
Rastafari, blood clot, Snoop Lion, top selector number one. Hold it, rewind.
Snoop Dogg, you gotta love it. You're a granddad now too.
Yes.
Congratulations,
Yes,
man.
Thank you.
Do you accept the term, lovingly? Some folks have
I embrace
problems.
getting old.
Yeah.
Old is wisdom for me. My gray hair is my hairstylist, and my barber be wanting to paint my hair with just for me, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm leaving my grays in. They there.
Well,
I'm not trying to hide them. I just let them stay where they at. You know what I'm saying? And I love being old. I love the fact that I'm able to grow old gracefully and not be some old disgruntled, MC that's mad at the youngsters.
Angry man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a player that appreciates and loves and respects the opportunity, and I respect the industry, and I respect the game for what it is. I know it's a young man's game. It's not my game anymore. I still play, but it's a young man's game. And once you understand that, you get appreciated. That's why I feel like the artists call me Uncle Snoop as opposed to Grandpa Snoop.
Album number 13, Bush. Now, some people make albums because they feel pressure. Some people make albums because the label is on their back. Some people make albums for the money. But it's evident that you made this straight out of love. Like, you don't care what people think about it. You don't care about album sales. None of that.
It's all based on what's missing.
Yeah.
I like to provide the industry with what's missing. Everything that I do is original, and it's not none other. It's nobody like, it's no sound like, it's no look like, no feel like. So this record was about making a record that felt like nothing that's out right now, but takes you back to an era where it used to be.
Yeah.
Where it felt good to make records that you can put on from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And play for grandma, play for your kids,
Yeah.
play for your mother, play for your preacher. You can play it for everybody. It's not one of those records that when grandma come in, you got to shut it off.
Right.
Or when the kids come in, shut it off. It's one of those records that everybody can enjoy in the whole house. It's a family barbecue, family reunion type of album as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. Now, Pharrell, you and he have been working since the early 2000s, and he executive producing. Now he's an Academy Award nominee now.
Yeah.
Is he in the clouds, or is that the same dude you worked with, back in the day on records like Beautiful?
I think the higher he gets, the lower he gets.
Wow.
Meaning that, the more success he gets, the more closer he gets to the heart and soul of who he is. He's
Right.
not that type of individual that's, plastic. Fame don't make him. He loves the fact of making music. That's why I feel like our brotherhood is so deep and it's so dope, because we both love and cherish what we do more than the accolades. We don't look forward to getting accolades. We look forward to the response when people hear the music, when people smile and say, this record did this for me, or, your song really helped me do this in life. And I feel like that's what we are right now. We making music to
Right.
settle this very aggressive world that we live in right now,
You got that right.
with a very peaceful, fun record right now, just
Yeah.
to match the energy.
California Roll. It opens the album, sets the perfect tone. I never smoked a joint in my life, but I felt like I got like a natural high. Like you can definitely escape on that record.
Yes.
How crazy is it that marijuana is legalized? It's legalized in California, right? California
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
first.
Yeah, we medically legalized, and it's all over the world now. It's starting to become, seen as, something that's positive as opposed to a drug. And me being one of the main advocates for 20-something years, standing up for it, going to jail for it, taking the fall for it, just watching it become a business is a great situation. I just want to see some of the people who, of color, make some of the finances off of the business,
Honey,
as opposed to going to jail
Yes,
for it.
I've been having this conversation for the past couple of weeks about this cannabis business. Do you have a stake in it?
I got a little something going on that I'm not
Okay.
going to speak on.
Okay, you got a couple of dispensaries?
Yeah, and I got a couple of little things that's going to be
Okay.
gigantic. When you hear about it, then I'll come back and I'll give you that exclusive interview to show you the proper way of how it's supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying?
It's Snoop Dogg,
I
baby.
got you, baby.
When artists drop album number 13, they usually start talking that retirement talk, exiting the business. Will this be your last? Are you feeling like hanging it up?
No, I don't have no darkness at the end of the tunnel. It's light. You know what I'm saying? I continue to keep seeing different things. Actually, I'm working on a project right now called G7,
Okay.
which is a musical, to support 7 songs that I have that
Oh.
weren't a part of this album. That's, a musical movie gangster to the streets.
Right.
Because I felt like this record wasn't that. So I've
Right.
always been able to make something for that, and then I don't forget about that. If I make a street record,
Right.
I never forget about the people up top who love me. If I
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a record for the pop people, I'm never going to forget about the people down low. So it's like it's a complimentary thing with me. I stay busy, stay moving, and
Yeah.
I feel like, if it's fun, I'm doing it. And right now, my life is fun.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the streets, it seems like the world is finally catching up to what you used to rhyme about, with police brutality. What do you think of all that's happening now with law enforcement?
I just feel like it needs to be some sort of, understanding on what's going on, because it's going to be ugly if it keeps happening to us. It's going to be an uproar to where, we're going to rebel, and we're going to rebel for the wrong reasons, as opposed to getting the understanding and getting the training taught to these officers the right way. Because I believe it begins with training. If you train them the right way, then when they hit the streets, it's all about what you were taught. If you train the incorrect way, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this in different states, different cities, which has been going on for years. I've been, a victim of police brutality many times, but I never could say nothing, never had a camera filming it.
Right.
I just took it along with everybody else like it's part of the game. We used to being harassed and thrown in the car and hit with a billy club, and it's part of, coming from the hood. But as we get older, it's like, okay, it's got to be something to do with the training. You guys
What do
were
you teach
taught
your
that.
sons?
Well, my sons, they've never had an encounter with the police, but I've always told them, through my dealings with the police that, the company you keep will bring the style of police work that you're going to get. Like when I ran with gang members, I got treated like a gang member. Now that I run with business people, the police look at me as a business now. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I have been treated like a gang member when I became a professional music artist. So it was like, I can't speak negative or positive about the police, because I know some of them that's cool, that's my friends, and I know some of them that's assholes. And at
Right.
the same time, it's like you can't judge everybody by their title, but at the same time, if they were all trained the same way with the same handbook and the same way of, when we hit the streets and when something goes wrong, we make the call. We don't shoot first, and if we do shoot, let's aim for the legs. Let's aim for the foot.
Yeah.
Let's try to disable him or disarm him,
Not
as
kill
opposed to
him.
let's aim for the stomach up.
Yeah.
It's a bad result, and at the same time, it's like, okay, the training. Like if you training them right, you training them to do the right things. When incidents like this happen, it'll go back to the training. Like right now, what do we have to blame? We don't the training, but at the same time, they're not going to court. And if they do go to court, they're getting found not guilty.
No one is being held accountable.
So
yeah. You have like this soothing, calming effect. You should go into like therapy or something.
Think so?
Yeah.
I might do that. I might be the priest that sits behind that wall.
The confessional?
Where you can't see him, you just hear him. I want to be that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where they tell me all their problems and I give them the answers.
Yeah, well, I know you have the answers. Well, congratulations on the release of the album.
Thank you.
And I want that hat, that snapback fisherman's hat when you come back.
AYC, I got you, baby.
It's Snoop Dogg on Ear Candy Mornings. I'm Renata Romaine,
Giving
Hip
you
Hop
an
Nation.
orgasm for your ear candy, baby.